Ladies and gentlemen, I was born to die in these dog days of summer. The days of summer. I don't know. I got it all wrong.
Jesus.
What are some other Lana Del Rey hits?
I prefer Days of Thunder.
Oh, me too. The road version of Top Gun? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She has a song named Diet Mountain Dew, Lana Del Rey. Or
That's
Lana?
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, she's young and beautiful.
Lana Del Rey is like Diet Mountain Dew. It's like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then you get it, and you're like, yeah, no, it's not. It actually
Very
is a little.
disappointing.
It is pretty disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. She's an
put
odd
out
dog.
so many records.
She has put out a lot of records. By the way, this is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Lana Del Joe.
Lana Del Joe, welcome to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a podcast that gets lost in a lot of pop culture stuff. Right now, we're focusing on reviewing the television series Battlestar Galactica.
For the next 5 days.
I know.
I know.
Shoot, we'll talk about that. We're in season 3 of that, and the 2 episodes we got today are Unfinished Business, where we get to see the Admiral knocking the crap out of some people.
Ugh.
And
Let me guess, a 9.
and the passage. So we got those 2 episodes to review today. But before we get to that, we do like to catch up on all the pop culture news. And
We're going to start this off a little different today.
yeah,
Wait, what are we not talking about today?
The Flash.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
No,
Sorry.
we're not doing
We're just
that.
not doing it.
yeah.
So if you listen to this show, we just want to say thank you.
No, we
Quite
don't.
honestly, we really do. You spend what could be 2 hours sometimes with us weekly, and we appreciate it. You don't have to do that, and you do. And then furthermore, going to our Patreons for you guys and who listen to whatever the hell we put on there, and some of it's touched.
If you pay for this show, I'm gonna. This is a wellness check on you.
Yeah. Well,
how are you doing?
It allows
How are
us,
you?
It allows us to do things like we did for Comic-Con. It allows us to do things for Toy Time with Joe.
Yeah.
Toy time.
And we put that right back into the nonsense that is Patreon. And so thank you, Joe. Who are our Patreons?
We have Tamsin, Mike, Samira, Hillary, Marv, Annette, and Charles, who I like to call Chuck.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know if Chuck likes to be called Chuck, though. Even though I just did it.
Right.
But you guys, I mean, to you 2 groups, we appreciate it very much. And then a further shout out, kind of piggybacking on the Patreon thing. We are working on something right now where we are trying to put something together for our Patreons, and we have a lot of other Instagram presences, other podcasts that are willing to help us out with this. So thank you to everybody.
It is going to be a collaborative effort.
It's a very collaborative effort. We're really trying to get everybody together for this thing. And it's hopefully going to be a lot of fun. So thank you to all 3 groups.
It's going to be a blast.
You listen to us, that's great. Thank you. Comment on us. I want to know each and every one of you. 734-494-0980. Leave a voicemail. Comment on shit.
You can text that number, too.
You can text that number.
If you don't like your voice, you don't want to leave a voicemail, send a text.
Yeah. I want to hear from people who actually listen to us. That'd be great. Patreons, of course, thank you a million times over. And up to all the other podcasts, Instagram personalities, friends that are helping us out with this, thank you.
Yeah, we had some podcasts that we did not think would do anything for us that are going to do stuff for us.
And a very special guest, which we will not mention right now. At least one.
What?
Yeah.
Is it a friend of the show?
It is a friend of the show.
It's Henry Cavill. Oh, I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
spoiled it.
Nick spoils everything.
I know.
Oh, it's not Henry Cavill.
It's Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
You know, I did try to message him.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
He doesn't get Instagram messages, though, so
Oh, he gets them.
I got to defer them over to you.
It's Ryan Gosling.
What he actually does is he prints them out so he can crumple them up and throw them away.
Probably.
That's true.
But I
That's true.
tried.
Well, we'll see. You never know. You never know who's going to show up on one of our Patreon.
No,
projects.
actually, when you message him on Instagram, it says this person does not receive messages on Instagram.
Oh, they got blocked. He's got it blocked.
So the effort was there.
Boo.
So it's a very exciting time
Yeah.
for the podcast.
We'll get that out
We want,
as soon as we get everything back, get our stuff filmed and edited. We'll get that out as fast as possible.
Exactly.
It will be on YouTube eventually, but eventually, I don't know when that is.
But in the meantime,
Join
join us on Patreon. Check out our Patreons. And join us as we begin watching the new seasons of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which premiered last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago now, yeah, because now we've had 2 episodes come out by the time this episode premiered.
So as we did with Picard, will listeners of this show be able to find upcoming content on YouTube?
I mean, we haven't done it yet. I mean,
That's on you. I'm available. Let's do it.
We could.
We have a major show meeting coming up after this show.
We do.
Where
I thought we were going to do it, but here we are.
I mean, we did it for Picard.
Yeah.
We did do it for
and that's
Picard.
a subpar
but
show.
you haven't watched the first episode.
But you don't need to tell the people that. Why are you outing me? I wasn't even in.
Look, I didn't need to tell them that for them to know you haven't watched it. You know this.
Is that on the bingo board then?
Yeah, Joe hasn't watched anything.
Joe hasn't watched it. I haven't watched episode 2. I've only watched the first one.
Oh, right when you're right. Nick hasn't watched it
I wasn't
either.
in love with the first episode. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it.
I really liked the second one more than the first one for sure.
Okay, 'cause the first one I give like a 6.5.
Okay.
It was still good.
Yeah.
Still good Trek.
Same.
Still better than not Picard, the last season of Picard, but still better than most of the Trek that's put out today.
Yeah.
But also in news of that, I mean, if we're going to do a review, I don't want to dive too deep into that. But there is some other major Star Trek news because Star Trek, Paramount specifically, has seemed to crap the bed with Star Trek Prodigy. So Star Trek Prodigy is their children's show on Nickelodeon, which has been really well received. All right. And they've released the first 10 episodes on physical media, and then the rest of season 1 was on Paramount. Well, they canceled it the other day. They officially canceled it, and they're removing it from streaming. So and they just finished filming the second season. It's in post. Okay, so they've released the first 10 episodes of the first season. They haven't released the second half of the first season on physical media, and now you can't stream it. So they're basically eliminating it from the cultural zeitgeist. They're like removing it. You can't have it.
This feels like they're grounding it. You said it's a kid show. It's like, you know what? You're grounded. Give me your toys. Give me your
We're not
video
mad.
games.
We're just disappointed in you.
You know what? Go to your room, and we're taking everything away.
They're just
You
taking
can't have
notes
it
from
anymore.
HBO or from Warner Brothers.
It's ridiculous. I mean, this is why I see why you two are such big proponents of physical media because, like, you never know when they're gonna. Just,
You don't.
I just got rid of all my.
You don't.
Blu-rays
You don't
the other
own
day.
it.
All of them?
All of them. They're all gone. Except I kept
You don't. You don't own it.
I
You rent the rights to view it.
Right, because
I
they
know.
could, like, if you buy a movie online, they can take that off anytime they want, and they have.
Yeah.
Unless you had to actually download it onto an external hard drive and,
Yeah.
On an
and
external,
save it.
because
Right.
even if you save it to your iPad, they can take it right off,
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
which is gangster as shit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Well, and that's like what a lot of the games have done over the past, right? The online games, they just take down the servers so you can never play them again. And it's like, wait, I paid the money for this thing. You should leave it up.
I was getting away from buying physical movies, but I think I'm going back to it, man, because I don't like this game.
Well, the problem now is with all these different streaming services and all these rights deals, right? They have them for so long in a certain network, and then they're gone. Like, we're going to deal with that right now with Battlestar Galactica. We're going to run into this problem. It's going off of Peacock, and 5 days now, which by the time
4 days by the time
you hear this, right? So, but is it going to go to Hulu? Is it going to go somewhere else, or is it just dropping off altogether? I haven't been able to find any information about that. So.
Well, the thing is, with a lot of these, you can they're usually available per purchase on Amazon, so you can purchase
That
the
is
season.
going to be an expensive investment.
I know. Or what I would suggest
$50 for Blu-ray.
What I would suggest is maybe you can go to like a disc replay or like a secondhand store, get them on physical media for half that price or less,
Yeah.
and then take the rest and go to Chipotle and get a burrito.
Yeah. I got rid of all my Blu-rays the other day. I took them to disc replay.
50 cents?
Would you get $8?
I traded in 300 movies.
Hold on, 300 Blu-rays. Were they single disc? What are we talking here?
Single disc,
Movies?
along with movies, TV shows.
TV show? Okay, 300
There's
Blu-rays.
stuff like
All Blu-rays?
all Blu-rays and some 4K.
Okay, so
You got rid of some 4K?
Rob, did you get a text from
No,
him?
not for 4K especially.
Me either.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
The
300.
DVDs I can deal with. The
And you
4K, I don't know, man.
You said Blu-ray, no DVDs,
No DVDs.
and you.
I got rid of all my DVDs.
And you said you did trade-in or cash?
I ended up getting cash.
Okay,
I did not take the store credit.
And 300 of them.
300. I'm gonna guess.
About 300, maybe a little bit less.
I'm
Took
going.
them 45 minutes to go through all of my discs.
I am going to guess $175.
I'm gonna go 110.
177.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So like they were going to give me $375 of in-store credit. And I looked around. There was just nothing I wanted.
How do you pass up $200?
There was nothing there.
Man,
There's nothing I wanted. I was actually looking for stuff for the podcast. I'm like, that's what I was going to use the money for. And they had. I was looking for some Rodecaster mics, so we could upgrade our equipment a little bit.
Did you know there's more than one disc replay?
Yes, I did. I know it's a chain. So, and I immediately, Eli was with me, and we were there for a while, and I immediately turned around and handed him the money. I said, "Here you go. Here's
what."
Gave him the money for it.
Not in a million years.
No, God, no.
I haven't touched my Blu-rays. I haven't watched any of them in so long. Remember, I was about to get rid of them last year when I moved.
I guess I have no problem with you selling. There's no way in hell I would turn around and hand that
give it to my kid.
Just so you can go to camp and catcall people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my kid got.
You know what? You need to revoke that money from
I
him.
know.
He was probably
He's probably just going out there like a strip club.
He was probably making it rain ones at camp.
I think we should put this in context if you want to.
So Eli got in trouble at camp. He was making inappropriate comments to the ladies. Not like really bad comments, but he was catcalling.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
Like saying, you're pretty,
Yeah, what's
you're
up,
cute,
girl?
as they were walking by, and he got in trouble.
Calling someone pretty catcalling?
I don't know.
Well, if you do it via letter, apparently.
If you do it like, yo, you got a big ass. That's catcalling.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. We just got the call today. I mean, I'm gonna have a conversation with him because that's not something he should be doing.
Are you trying to take notes, or what are you trying to get?
Eli, how did you do it?
Yeah.
Because I need help.
I need help.
All the women scoff at me. I'm sure they scoffed at him because he was catcalling. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, they did it by letter. You said they did it by letter. What do you type?
That was part of it. So when you hear catcalling, I assume like lewd.
Yeah, me too.
Ridiculous. But catcalling could really be, hey, you're really cute. Come over here. That's catcalling. Technically.
See, this is where I have an issue with
I know.
things.
I'm sure you do. No,
that's not catcalling.
That's like.
Okay. There's a way you can do that respectfully. Sometimes it's almost as if you're not allowed to find somebody attractive. Sometimes. Even the idea that you
Is
find
that
someone.
why people don't talk to me?
Even the idea that you find
They're
somebody
intimidated by you.
attractive first
They
and
absolutely
foremost
are.
before you know them is like,
Yeah,
oh, you just think I'm something to look at. It's like, well, I don't know you yet,
Yeah.
so yeah, I like the way you look. I'd like to get to know you better because visually you're appealing.
Well, both are important. If you're not physically attracted to someone, like
Nick, that's not the right.
I know.
Well, you're pretty close-minded.
Yeah.
But like let's say you decide to marry someone based off of personality only, and then physically you're just revolted from each other. Like that's not going to be a good
of course,
marriage or a relationship.
No, I wouldn't say that I'd yell across a playground like, I find you cute. Come over here and talk with me.
I like the way that slide hits.
Do you like me? Yes or no?
I see you're good at those monkey bars. What's up?
Oh yeah.
Now, did he?
I see you on that swing. Want to swing with me? Hey!
Are you a swinger? No, I asked.
Yeah, I like to get on the swing.
Get the horgon.
Oh yeah.
You're talking about like
swings.
Going,
yeah. I like swings.
For 3 or 4 minutes at a time, I like to go up and down. And that's too much swinging.
Tuck the legs and push them out.
Mm-hmm.
Over.
Yeah,
and over.
And sometimes
and
I like
over.
to nail it with a good completion by jumping off after I'm done.
Ejecting?
Yeah, like launching.
Ejaculating?
Launching off. Yeah.
Ejecting.
Have you done that like premature before though? Like got off too early?
Yeah, I have done that, and
like
I've ended
fell?
up falling flat on my face. And
That's the worst.
I ended up getting all skinned up. It's not good. Sometimes I like to play the what do they call that game where as I'm swinging, someone runs underneath us as we're swinging. And it can get messy.
Yeah, it can.
You
get that third party involved and you're not sure what to do.
Well, there's already a third party involved because you're all on swing.
Yeah,
you're
true.
swinging together.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Naturally.
Did Eli mention like he didn't use the word dump truck, did he? I asked this earlier.
We have no real details other than they called us and said, "Hey, we just want to let you know your kid got in trouble and he was
your son's an ass man."
And he was the instigator.
My question to you is
he's the instigator.
Yeah.
As the parent in this scenario, would you have been mad had that call happened later or when you picked him up from camp?
Like if I would have found out later,
Yeah.
I would have rather found out later. I can't do anything about it. Are you sending my kid home? No, then deal with it, right?
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I'm trusting you to. I know some parents aren't
It
like that.
doesn't sound
now.
like it's serious enough to warrant like a interruption to camp.
No, they're just like, hey, we want to let you know we talked to this.
But you
kid.
said something about what was the wording? An environment, or this isn't the.
We're not that sort of environment where that behavior is acceptable.
Well, he obviously learned it at home.
Obviously.
I mean, that's what's so funny about this. It's like there's no way he learned this at home. But
you guys need
But
to.
he's
He
also
comes
in a
over-
cabin with all these kids he's never met,
Nick,
and they're all.
to be
trying-
fair, he comes over here too much.
I know. We all when we
Yeah.
get together, it's bad. Anyways, enough about my kid's personal life. He'll be mad that I even talked about this.
Just skip this episode.
I
Problem
really
solved.
I really shouldn't have.
Hi, Eli.
So I'm not going to dive into the Flash. We don't need to talk about that. That's a train wreck. We're not going to talk about that. But I do want to talk about something sad that came out of two things that came out of the Flash. The Flash VFX artist, they interviewed him, and he
killed
actually
himself.
said, if it looks like we made it in a week, it's because they gave us such unrealistic expectations for when they needed the CGI done. So this goes with all the Marvel movies. Well, this is what's going on.
How long did we talk about this movie? They weren't
I
working
call
on it for the whole
bullshit.
time.
I don't know. I believe it. I
I
believe
call-
it.
Yeah.
So that's my first Flash.
I
news.
did research that scene and look it up. I'm like, ooh,
It's bad.
That is bad.
It is bad.
That is
And
not good.
they
Go
were.
watch the movie, man.
What sucks? No, I'm not paying money now. I'm waiting
It
for
is.
streaming.
It is a good movie. I enjoyed
Okay,
it.
It was enjoyable. I thought.
Would you pay extra money to go see it again?
I'd pay money to go see
I
it.
paid money to see it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That goes against everything you've said about the movie.
We
No,
gave
I
it
s-
7
no.
out of 7 or 8.
We both said we liked it. That we
The
said
se-
the special effects were completely distracting at times, but we both said we liked it.
it was a good story.
Yeah, and the story they're trying to tell, especially at the end,
Yeah.
We're not
was
supposed to do that
great.
with The Flash.
oh yeah. Well, you started it
What?
because you didn't watch it and you're trying to judge the damn movie.
No, I just said
This is
that
like
I
Spider-Man all over again.
I just said that
Spider-Man
I
Far From
researched
Home.
the scene, the baby scene.
Yeah.
and
Which I didn't think was controversial. People need to
People
chill
said
the
that was
fuck out.
controversial.
because they put a baby in the microwave. to
Who
save it.
hasn't
It wasn't
wanted to
plugged
do
in.
that?
Absolutely.
It wasn't plugged in.
Exact. But people are all up in arms about it. It's like, come on.
Obviously, they're not parents.
Yeah. Or just people in general.
Well,
Okay. So my next news related to the Flash was based off of the box office for it. They were based on, depending on how the response to the Flash was, they were preparing to green light a Batman Beyond film. But due to the poor performance
Nope.
of the Flash,
Nope.
they have scrapped the Batman Beyond movie.
That's probably a
starring
good
Michael
idea.
It would have been Michael Keaton, though. He was great in the movie.
I don't trust DC, but we're
No,
not. I'm
nobody does.
But we're not going to get into that today. But yeah, there's that.
New
Wasn't
regime.
wasn't Batman Beyond part of the layout that they had?
Yeah.
The rollout.
No, no, not the
that
new
was
universe.
what was that?
Brave and the Bold.
The Brave and the Bold. Okay.
New regime at DM, right? Or DC, right?
New regime, but
So think about the Lions right now. Sorry for going into sports, people. When Dane Campbell got here and their GM got here, we're like, new regime, we got to give it a shot.
and I said SOL until they prove me otherwise.
There we go.
Yeah.
So prove me otherwise.
and they haven't yet. They've
Yeah.
continued to shoot themselves in the foot.
They had no part in this. They just released it.
I would argue that they had no business releasing this theatrically anyway.
No,
No, I would agree with that. I would think that
If you're gonna reset the universe and everything, the next film that comes out in the theater should be the part of the brand new everything and just
which I
Right.
guess Blue Beetle is.
like I would have, or
is it?
That's what they said.
Blue Beetle is the
It's-
launch of their new universe.
But it's not the official movie of like the first movie would be
but they're
Superman
going to
Legacy.
allow, yeah. What they should have done was just released it to
just
HBO Max and made it part of the Elseworlds and just said, hey, here's movies that aren't part of the
HBO Max
universe.
should be Elseworlds.
It should. I mean,
Just straight up. Max.
Max.
They should have DCU, which
With
is there,
two
and everything,
axes.
and everything on Max should be Elseworlds,
Yeah. I
except
agree.
for Penguin and Peacemaker. Because Peacemaker was great.
I have some Star Wars news as well that I'm going to
cares?
share with you. Because this, okay. All right. I got to be careful on this because
Oh boy.
people are going to be upset with me. I
Star Wars
will
sucks.
fully
They
acknowledge
already
you're,
are.
You're already no. What I'm about to say here is going to.
You're a terrible parent. We've established this today. So
They've already announced the name of it. It's going to be called Star Wars: The Rise. Oh, no, not the Rise of Star Wars. I'm sorry. It was going to be
wasn't that
called.
already, wasn't that
No,
already
no, no,
something?
no. New Jedi Order. That's going to be the name of the new movie. Star Wars: New Jedi Order. Okay.
Who's
fine.
directing?
They don't
Kevin
have
Smith.
a director. Here is the synopsis for the movie, which
but although I would kill to see the dialogue.
Here's the synopsis for the movie, which immediately makes me go, nope. It says, the sequel delves into Rey's courageous endeavor to restore the Jedi Order, where she assumes the role of a mentor to two promising students, a girl and a boy.
Weird.
As their training progresses, it becomes evident that the blank, which one, the girl or the boy, will the girl possesses extraordinary abilities destined to emerge as a future leader.
What are you, sexist? You saying...
No,
are you pissed because it's the girl, not the boy?
Rey was such a Mary Sue for characters. That's what they call them.
How so?
She had no faults. She had no flaws. She was a perfect character. And I understand how some people would be like, well, you're just being sexist because it wasn't a male figure. No, that's not true. There are strong female characters that I absolutely love, like Sarah Connor. Princess Leia is a good one. Sarah Connor. Like, I'm thinking about other female heroines out there. Like, there's great female heroines. There was actually a YouTube video I watched where the guy's like, no one has a problem with female heroes. What we have a problem with is that female heroes are perfect, and the only adversity they face is realizing that they had the strength all along and everyone else is wrong, and they just need to tear down the system so they can be strong, independent women. And I'm like, I kind of got that, right? Like, because for a long time, cinema has portrayed men in like they're perfect and they're just,
and the female's always been the
damsel in distress,
yes.
which is wrong too. It's wrong too. Right. But at some point, like Disney, you're shoving it down our throat, and it feels like pandering to me, to women even. And I've talked to some women, and they're like, yeah, it is kind of obnoxious. Like,
how did you approach these women?
Did you go, yo, baby?
I catcalled them. I don't know. They're shoving it. It's just like Disney. Rey was not. No one liked. Well, not no one liked Rey. Rey was not a universally loved Star Wars character.
Our unpaid interns raved about Rey.
Yeah, I mean, some people really like her, and I'm sure a lot of women really identified with Rey and liked women, which is great. I mean, that's what you're going for. I don't think that's a character to stake the future of your franchise on. I think it's dangerous, and I think it's.
So what would you do then?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay to have Rey, but I think it's going to be dangerous. I'm okay with them having like a strong female lead character who rises up, but I think they need to be careful. Disney needs to be careful how they do it, and it's not like pandering. They need to give this character some flaws. They need to give this character some of their own adversity that they have to face so they can grow as a character.
Well, it makes it for a better story that way, too.
It does. It does. That's the problem with Rey is almost like right away she was an amazing Jedi, and that was a big flaw with the series. Like, why is she so good at this right away? She shouldn't have been.
She was just Michael Jordan, man.
Well, it turns out because she was Palpatine's granddaughter, which is dumb. Such a dumb story arc. I know you don't care, but like
not at all.
Wasn't Luke good right away though?
No.
As an actor, he was never good.
He loses
to the Star Wars movies.
Well, he helps destroy the Death Star in the first one. The second one, second one he loses, gets his hand chopped off, and they lose. And Han's in carbonite, and the rebel base is destroyed, and they're on the run. Like, that's how the movie ends. The third one, he doesn't win the fight. I mean, he wins the fight, but he doesn't win. Like, he wins it in the sense that he can beat Darth Vader, but he could not have beaten the Emperor. And he only wins because Darth Vader turns against the Emperor, right? So his biggest strength was that he leaned on the characters around him to be.
So you want Rey's hand cut off?
Yes,
that's fair.
Both.
That's 100%.
Both.
I want her to get diabetes. Rey Skywalker. Hold on, I will fight you with my lightsaber, but I just need this injection.
That's one thing.
What a twist!
That's one thing you never see in the Star Wars universe: doctor visits.
Yeah, I know exactly.
At least Battlestar Galactica has
true.
Dr. Coddle.
That's true. Please call me and tell me I'm wrong. I understand this is a really weird area, especially as a man.
To speak on women?
Who am I as a man to comment on this? I get that to some extent. So I want to hear from women. Like, comment, tell me what your thoughts are on this, and I'm okay if you like. Please tell me I'm wrong and give me some points. In fact, you know. Yeah,
you can always count on the people to tell you you're wrong.
Go for it.
Put it on Twitter, Joe, and we'll see that bad boy take off.
Is Rey Skywalker
wrong
Mary
or
Sue?
very wrong?
Yeah, exactly. You're setting your environment there. All right.
What is Nick? A, sexist, or B, racist? Those are your choices.
Those are your only choices.
Or everythingist. Healthist? You're definitely healthist.
I'm definitely healthist. Yeah.
I mean, you give out disease like it's Halloween.
Like it's candy.
Like
Yeah.
it's Halloween.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes out the beanies like it's candy.
You get to beat us. And you
Yeah. I give out
AIDS.
I give
Everyone
out
has AIDS.
STIs,
Yes, true.
no.
not D's. I don't give out D's. D's nuts.
Cat call. What are kids gets it from?
Yeah.
Actually, we do a lot of D's nuts jokes in our houses, but like just
I do that too. So there's a billboard between my house and my children's mom's house.
yeah.
And it's like for a weed store, and it's a billboard, and it's I don't know the name of it, but it's the slogan is D's Nugs.
Oh
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yep,
yes,
nuggets.
And my daughter, who's 9, laughs and points it out to me every time we pass. She's like D's Nugs.
We were at
I'm like, oh my god,
We were at Costco the other day, right? And we're putting stuff in the cart. And, they have the big, giant, like, tins of peanuts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Leslie, do we need any of these? And Leslie didn't hear me well. And Eli was there. And Eli immediately goes, oh. And Leslie's like, what? And I said, D's nuts! Really loud. It is glorious. But Eli knew what I was doing. Leslie did not.
and you're still married. Doesn't
D's nuts?
it's the fact that you're still married is one of the only things in this world that makes me believe
Yeah.
there is a God.
Leslie does D's nuts jokes all the time. We
Oh,
also do.
you know what, you were meant for each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. And we also do, the one song, To the Window, to the Walls, to the Sweat Drip Downhill Balls. That always comes up in our house for some reason.
Now, are you gonna have you told any of this information to the camp counselors?
No, we're bad parents. I know.
Don't tell them to listen to this show either.
Don't listen to the podcast. It tells you some things.
I
about
can't imagine where his son gets it.
me. I know.
Can you?
Nope.
It's just completely out of left field.
I'm a bad parent.
No.
I'm a bad parent. Anyways, what do you gentlemen have now that I've outed myself as a bad father?
I just want to say this real quick on the show, just because I want to hear it. But what Joe mentioned earlier about Xbox admitting that's lost the console war.
Didn't they have
Man.
to do that for legal purposes though? It's a legal strategy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it is. So they can,
But
they
it's-
can say we should be
but
able
it
to
is-
acquire these people.
Yes, but it is funny to hear.
It's great to hear. For this show especially.
I know.
I read that and I was
For
like,
you two, for some reason, it's like you get a boner when you're talking about how Xbox
Yeah.
sucks.
yeah. So I got one right now.
It just feels weird. I don't know.
I bet you feel pretty good
It
actually.
would feel very
I don't have anything against Sony. I just
I don't know. You sold your PlayStation.
But I at least bought one.
I mean, then you immediately sold it.
I didn't immediately. It took me 4 months of not using it. And then now it sits right behind us on this podcast.
Now I'm going to play it during the podcast. I'm like, yeah, Battlestar Galactica, whatever.
Whatever. I got something else to do right
Yeah.
now.
Jeez.
Upstairs is going to be God of War. Downstairs is Harry Potter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Harry Potter Legacy, baby. So,
You guys still play the Harry Potter game?
Yeah.
How was it?
It's great.
Leslie loved it. She played the heck out of it. I have not touched it.
I have a limited time. So
Unlimited time or
sorry,
limited
time.
Okay.
So I can only play it like once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that's why it's taking me forever, but I love it.
That's why I don't play video game.
They do
There's
take a lot of
there's no
dedication.
way I can commit time to it.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of those. Well, you guys know I was doing midnights, or I am doing midnights, and sometimes I get home and I was just still, and that's my hour or two I would play it.
Yeah.
I just stay up super late and watch TV or play games on. I'm like up till like 1 or 2 in the morning all the time playing, which is when you're getting up for work.
Actually, earlier than that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's at work.
Yeah, I'm at work already.
Yeah. When I'm going to bed, you're getting up or you're in the middle of your shift. It happens.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It happens. I got nothing else.
Anything else?
I don't.
What else?
I don't think I have anything else.
All right. We ready to move on?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, okay. We're moving on to Battlestar Galactica. We got 2 episodes to review today. We got Unfinished Business
I wish I would have unfinished the episode.
and The
know.
Passage. So the crew have reinstituted an old military tradition where they're boxing. They're boxing to let off some steam. They all throw their dog tags into a little jar, and the rank doesn't matter anymore.
Key party.
They just beat. Yes, exactly. They're gonna go swinging. They just beat the crap out of each other to respond. But basically, this episode serves as like a bottle episode. It's like a flashback episode
Yeah.
to show what happened during their time on New Caprica and all these different things. And we have different flashbacks there. We have, flashbacks of Chief Ty asking to get off the ship, and him initially being denied by Adama, but then Adama decides to get drunk and high with Rosalind and changes his mind, which is pretty funny. Did
you say Chief Ty?
Tyrell.
Oh, you said Ty.
I did say Ty, didn't I?
I was confused.
Yeah, Tyrell. So he offers them a leave, so they take the leave. But the other flashback is Starbuck and Lee get it on and declare their love for each other. But then Starbuck immediately goes and marries Anders and pisses Lee off. What else were the other flashbacks? Were those basically the main flashbacks?
I think
yes.
so.
They were. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then we have.
Oh, there's the Chief Ty and.
His wife. Some scenes with his wife. Nothing major,
and the Admiral saying you should go.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're buddies, and
yeah.
I made
and
that
him.
Mistake.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. So we watch the crew basically beating the crap out of each other, and Adama arrives with Rosalind. We find out Rosalind is a huge boxing fan, and so they're all
Rosalind gets hotter by the episode.
Dude,
I swear,
she is incredible.
She's getting high. She's watching boxing.
She's super into it, right? And she's like, Adama, are you going to box? And he's like, no, I'm not going to box.
I'm about to beat that ass
Until
later.
he hears the chief letting one of his guys off the hook, like, hey, we got a raptor down. And he's like, nah, it's cool. And Adama says to him, dude, we need our ships working. And the chief blows him off. So he's like, now I got to beat his ass.
Yeah.
And so he gets in the boxing ring and he says, get your fat ass in here. So they get in a fight. And Adama knows he's going to lose the fight. He wants to lose the fight, essentially. He wants to get the crap beat out of him. And he lectures the crew about, I let you all get too close to me. I can't let that happen again. We need to stay a family. So everyone thinks the fighting is over.
It's all about family.
Fast 11.
Then Dom shows up in his Dodge Challenger because it's in space.
It's space. Why not?
It's space. So
feasible.
Then we got the final boxing scene is between Lee and Starbuck, who just pound the crap out of each other in the ring while Dee and Anders watch, and Dee is disgusted because she knows what it means. Basically, like, my husband's been an unfaithful creep. And Anders is like, this is disgusting. And they beat the crap out of each other. And it ends with them saying, I miss you. And that's the end of the episode. So that's the end.
Good. Best part.
Episode 2, go.
Yep.
You know what, though? You don't know what's so weird about
this episode? Stunk. STUNK.
No,
stunk.
You know what I was going to say? There were elements of this episode that were absolutely just terrible. Just.
Yeah, minutes 1 through 44.
No, the Adama stuff was really good.
Adama's speech?
Adama's speech, Adama in the ring fighting with the chief, Adama and Rosalind. I thought that was all really good stuff.
Good for you.
But the way they did the corny Lee and Starbuck thing,
again?
I love this.
Again.
I love it.
Again.
And then, I mean, they've never showed.
I'm going to tell you right.
Like, they didn't get along with each other when they got back. You didn't know why. Now you know why.
I'm going to tell you right now. I hate Starbuck. Worst character in the show right now.
Well, this was
because what's his nuts? Baltar is basically laying low for a little bit.
Yeah, there's no Baltar in this episode.
And Starbuck I cannot stand Starbuck. Yeah. I can't stand the sight of her. I can't stand her facial expressions, her demeanor. Any of the lines she delivers, her storyline, none of it. It's all terrible.
She's bad. Yeah, now.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't know if it's redeemed. How are
they going
to redeem this?
How can you
character?
redeem this pile of garbage for me? We'll see if they can.
Just her whole attitude is like.
She's better than everyone else.
It is.
Like, she's a hot mess all the time. Nothing is going right. And she's like, well, it's
never
because you're all
her
idiots.
faults.
Yeah, exactly. She's stuck in this cycle of despair and misery.
And the story, I didn't like this episode, but the storyline of what she did to Lee was, what a scumbag move.
Well, what
an absolute scumbag.
That's like a super dirtbag move. Like, what is the thought process behind what she was doing? The whole thing.
Because she's scared.
I was going to say that. Is she scared? Were they that drunk where she didn't know what she was doing?
No.
Furthermore, before she got with Lee, she was all about Anders.
Making out with him at the party.
Well, she went back to a friggin' planet for him.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my knees.
Yeah, wow. Those knees are going.
No, but it's just, yeah, Joe's
Bad.
point. I'm done with her. She's
Yeah.
Baltar territory now. It might be even worse.
Because the best thing about Baltar right now is we don't see a lot of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They've rectified that.
Well, and honest, but next episode, I'm really he's just annoying. Anytime he gets story time, I'm like, Jesus, this is bad.
There's some good stuff coming with Baltar though that
When?
that you two are gonna appreciate.
No,
That he dies? Yeah, I'll appreciate that.
actually, not to jump to the second episode, but like what he's doing now, I can appreciate. He's having threesomes all the time.
Dude is living.
He's slaying.
He's going on a swing set.
Which I mean, good for you.
He likes to go on the swing
Still
set.
scumbag. He's still a sleazeball piece of human garbage, or potentially Cylon garbage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the parts of this. First of all, do you like the element of the idea of having a bottle episode based around boxing, or do you feel like that's an unnecessary? Like, is that part of your problem with the episode, or is it really particularly?
I didn't have
Lee and Starbuck thing.
Yes.
Lee,
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
I thought the boxing, especially some of the music they used, was terrible.
Yeah.
I thought the boxing intercuts were not very good.
Really?
And then the whole dropping the thing, but it's all lead characters, which I understand for the story they could need to do.
Yeah.
Not good. None of it was good to me.
Okay.
None of it.
I don't mind bottle episodes. They're not my favorite.
Yeah.
It's
But
they're a necessary evil. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But this was not good. I didn't like the premise.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he gives it a 7.
No.
No.
This is easily the worst episode I've ever seen of this show.
Really?
By
The
I
worst?
mean,
It's pretty bad.
almost far and away.
It
I
is-
can't remember the other bad ones, but this is not good.
This episode, when you go into the Reddit subs and all that, this either is adored by people or
Those people
absolutely
need help.
trounced on. Absolutely trounced on.
Whoever adores
Who
this
adores this?
They
I
need, they
see
need
some
help.
good parts to it. I actually
You're
like.
Mr. Positive, though.
I like the idea of them having these boxing matches, like this whole idea where Rosalind comes in and he's like, actually, this is kind of a private thing. Like no one really knows about this. This is just,
No,
and then them throwing their ranks into there. Like
I get it.
Okay,
I don't like it.
I might dip my toe into a little bit of Nick territory here, though.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell that Starbuck could go toe to toe with Lee. Lee would whoop her ass.
He would destroy her.
Whoop her
You see
ass.
that boy's muscles? You see that
Now
boy?
she would beat a lot of the men on that ship because a lot of them look like pansies.
Yeah, like
And she
Hot
would
Dog.
and she would whoop every and
Which
she
she
would whoop
did.
every other
Yeah.
woman's ass too.
Yeah, she knocked out Hot
So I'm
Dog.
not
in,
saying
like,
she's
3
not
hits.
strong. She can hold her own. Lee would mop the floor
Yeah,
with her.
she could take Gata, probably.
Lee
Oh
could
my
be-
God.
Lee could be uncoordinated.
Could she take?
I don't know about that.
Maybe he's just a bad boxer.
Could she take?
She seems satisfied in the flashbacks. He's got some moves.
That wasn't boxing. Sometimes you got your A game for certain things, and everything else falls to the wayside.
So
maybe
that's not his A game. That's his D game.
Yeah, maybe his A game is bringing it home.
His A game is his D game.
Yeah, but his D game is just pathetic, which is his B game.
His P game is pretty good.
I'm guessing so.
Punching,
Oh,
punching.
Not apparently.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently not good enough because after a night with him, she's like, "Nah, I gotta go marry someone
know.
else."
maybe he's so bad. He's so bad.
He's so bad.
He's
at
so
it.
bad at both.
Oh, yeah.
Was that why he was? Now that might make the episode better. I'd be pissed too if I had just slept with someone and they're like, "That's so bad. I need to marry the next fucking
The
person."
next
that's
First
on
person that
me."
walks in front of me, I'm marrying.
Yeah.
I have to marry them. Oh my
I am
gosh.
hitching my wagon to literally anybody else. The first person I see that's not Leodama.
Oh my gosh.
We figured it out. Never mind. Great episode.
Problem solved.
True
Problem,
story.
problem solved. Now, see, that's all. It just needed the backstory.
We just needed to talk through it.
We just needed the backstory. What about Adama's speech, though? Did you like that part or no?
I think that was the best part of the episode.
Yeah, it was-
Usually he is the best part of the episodes, right?
But-
I really like him.
He goes to Picard territory, that where he's like, I got to put my separation there
Yeah.
until Picard's last episode, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta beat the crap out of one of my crew members and then decide I'm gonna be separate from you, which is kind of funny.
Right.
It's
Well,
like
I don't know why
look what I can do, and I will do it every once.
Yeah.
I don't know how that proves his point, but okay.
By whooping the Chief's ass.
Well, he kind of got his ass whooped.
Well,
I mean, he did, but he whooped the Chief.
Oh yeah, he could put
He
some
got
like
his-
I
licks
think
into
the
him.
point was that was an emotional fight, and there never should have gotten a point where it'd be emotional between the chief and the admiral because they shouldn't have had that line to cross. I think that was the point, right? Like, you saw me beating the crap out of him with my passion, and then he beat the crap out of me with his passion. Why did it get to this far? Because I let you all get too close to me, and I shouldn't have done that.
We got birds to fix.
We got so is that his way of
Fix that
saying?
Boyd.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it if he had a Boston
I know.
accent like that. Mark
Get
Wahlberg.
those boys in
Get
the
those
air.
boys in the air. Is he basically saying, "Here's Rosalind here, watching him get the crap beat out of him, but give him some good advice in the ring"?
Oh, she
which
was
is-
hot. She was hot for it.
She was like
yeah,
all
get it.
about it when he's like, well, "I'm calling the fight," and he's like, "No, I'm back in there." She was like, "I could."
Oh my
Her
God.
ovaries were in overtime at that point.
Ovary time.
Ovary time, baby. But anyways, he
Mine
gets
were
up
too.
there and he basically says, like, all the decisions I made that let you do what you wanted sucked. And he's
Hot.
basically it was because of Rosalind. She's like, you should let him go, be on the planet, let them be happy. So he's basically like, Rosalind, you were wrong, and that's sad.
I think they got high too much.
Yeah, they did. They smoked a lot of that ganja up there that they found. in
What do
the
they
mountains.
have? It's just some plant that was growing.
Yeah,
and
it's
she
not,
said,
it's not.
like-
It's not weed. It's something like you got to come up with the frack version of it.
I know.
I love how one of the
like
first things they
mead.
do on this planet is they're like, "Can I smoke that? Can I smoke
Yeah.
that?" They're going all
They're
the
just walking around. What about that right there?
Can I smoke that? Light that on fire. Let's see what that does to me.
It reminds me. So I've been having a lot of conversations about firsts.
Yeah.
Like imagine the first person to ever puke. Could you? What would you think? Well, like
oh
what
my
is
gosh,
happening?
what is happening?
Or could you imagine the first successful pregnancy, and you just it's another human.
Yeah.
You're
And he's
"What
like,
the
why?
fuck?
Adam's looking at her like, girl, what's going on with you?
What is
It
happening?
wasn't me, guys. It wasn't me. And
What is
Eve's looking around there like, who
There's
else is it?
nobody else.
It's literally you. I want a paternity test. Oh, I want that episode of Maury Povich.
Like the first,
I want Adam and Eve, the true life story.
Mm-hmm.
but just imagine being the first person to do something, and you don't like. It's
Like-
so like, there's no frame of reference for vomiting.
Like the first person to have a Cinnabon.
You probably think you're the what?
The first person to have a Cinnabon.
Or what about
Oh my God!
what about something like
Do you think when they were coming up with the recipe, it's just they it was just the guy and they kept giving him like different versions, like, okay, try this one, and he nutted.
Oh,
Like,
he
and they're like, that's the
absolutely did.
one. That's the one.
That's
Look
like
at his
the-
pants.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Absolutely. That's what
back
happens.
to back,
That's the recipe.
That's when they realized
back to first.
we got to market this. Do you want extra cream out with your Cinnabon?
Back to first. What about like hiccups? Like someone
Yeah.
starts hiccuping and they
You're
can't
like, it's
stop.
over for me.
And
It's
you're
over.
like,
I'm dead.
You're like, what is wrong
What?
with you, man?
Come on, let's get more childish. The first time someone farted.
Oh, I know. I was
oh
gonna say.
God! Oh, what the hell?
Oh yeah, and it smelled. You're like, what is that?
Something is wrong with me. I need to go to the doctor right now.
But the amount of trial and error there must have been. Be like, okay, can I eat that? And you're like, nah, nope,
No,
can't eat
no,
that.
he's dead. You can't eat that.
No.
Hey, look at this nice snake.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Shit like that makes me laugh. Just the first anything.
I get that. That makes a lot of sense. I like that. I'm gonna have to think of some first that would be like really.
Could you imagine
shocking.
burping for the first, like belching out loud for the first
Yeah.
time?
And some guys around you going, that was cool.
Well, what about even something as simple as like cracking your knuckles? Like when you go like that and you crack them, you're like, "Oh my gosh, my hands, they're broken." You know, just fun stuff like that, man. It's just bloody noses. I'd be like, my body's falling out of me. My brain's falling out. Anyways, this episode, so
Some of those stinks.
we got all.
that
I
first
mean,
burp.
really,
That's probably that first burp probably stunk.
can we talk about how unrealistic it is that Lee would go for Starbuck when he has Dee, who is basically like, for him, like she's, I mean, is she like a wet blanket to him? Maybe a little bit, but like he doesn't have to fight everything. Like you don't have to punch her.
It seems like on screen, it looks
seem-
like they have a decent
It
relationship.
seems like they have a decent relationship, and Dee seems like a pretty decent woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what? That is a trade down in my book.
I agree.
From D to Starbuck.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now, is it a trade down from Anders to Lee?
No, I don't think as much.
No, that's more of an equal footing, right?
I think that's a lateral move.
But D to Starbuck is absolutely a trade down.
That's 100% a trade
But
down.
I think it's always been a trade down from the beginning. See, you liked Starbuck at first.
At first I kind of thought she was attractive physically because that's how I am. I
Yeah.
saw her first, and then I learned her personality, and she's a bum.
Canceled.
Well, that's what happens.
That's what happens on this show.
See,
This episode, guys.
You know what
I think
would have
I
happened?
like this person. Wait a minute, they suck.
You see what happens is I would have been deprived of those first little feelings of, oh, she is attractive, if I would have got to know her first and realized she's a bum.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
So you know what? It's a good thing that I was selfish, or not what is it? Shallow.
Yeah, that's true. I don't understand in this.
But now she's not even physically attractive. I can't even look. I can't even
she's
stand.
so revolting.
I can't
to
even
you.
stand the sight of her on screen.
I think she
It's
looks
funny how that happens when you look at somebody like, oh, they're attractive, but then their personality comes into play. You're like, they're not attractive.
Uh-huh.
Which, I mean, going back to it earlier, the discussion of like physical attraction versus getting to know somebody. How much someone's personality actually plays into their physical attraction.
Well, because it
I
can work
agree.
the opposite way, right? In the sense where you're like, oh, they're okay looking, and the more you get to know them, you're like, oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
It's all about marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you start to see different parts of them in a different way. I think this episode did miss an opportunity. If you're going to put these characters in a ring against each other to fight grudges,
Kill one?
I don't understand why Starbuck didn't fight Cat. Those two hate each other. And we see a little bit of that in the next episode too.
And Starbucks, a scumbag again.
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Go fig.
Yeah.
Speaking of episodes I don't like, the second one too.
The Passage. Do you want to go on to The Passage?
Well, I'd like to pass it over.
I
That was a bad joke.
liked it.
Food supply ain't going well.
No.
Food supply sucks. They're
Everyone's snorting Ritz.
they're snorting Ritz crackers. They're really in trouble, and they found food, but it's through basically a radioactive field, and they can't get there without the guidance of the Raptor ship. So they decide that they're going to jump the fleet there with the guidance of the Raptors to get them through it. The problem is, as the Raptors go through it, they're going to get radiation poisoning, and all the pilots are going to get poisoned along the way.
Potentially.
No, not they will.
Yeah.
And they could die from the radiation
Send
poisoning.
Starbuck every time.
So
Clone her and send her again.
So they're making the trips, and things aren't going great. They've lost a couple ships here and there, and it's really weighing on the pilots, and they're getting radiation sickness, and things aren't going well. Starbuck is being Starbuck as usual, just being a jerk to everyone, and spying on Kat when she realizes that they're not calling her Kat, they're calling her a different name. Turns out she lived a whole different life before the bomb.
Sasha.
She was basically a smuggler and smuggled people and stuff like that. So she was not a good person, but then she found a chance to remake herself
and redeem herself.
So
And
she
totally
did
redeem
it.
herself.
So Starbuck goes to her and basically is like, I'm gonna turn you in because you're a dirtbag. Come on, Starbuck, like you have room.
Pot, kettle, pot.
Yeah.
And Kat is like, nah, I'm not a bad person. I'm not. I swear I'm not. And basically, she goes on a mission where she lies about her radiation detector machine.
She steals one.
She steals one, so it shows that she hasn't had a lot of radiation. So they let her go, and she's able to guide the final ships through. And when she comes back, she gets in. They give her a round of applause, and she drops. She's dying of the radiation sickness.
Beatus?
The beatus. She's got the beatus, and she's got it bad. So as she's laying there dying, Starbuck comes in and is like, "You're not that bad. Bye." Which was
I know.
I gotta go. Like, come on, she's dying. Like,
She basically gave her a loaded gun, too.
And here's some sleeping pills
Right.
to knock yourself out.
She goes, it's enough.
It's enough. Yeah.
I got to go, though.
And then here comes Adama, who is the man, and sits down with her as she dies.
Great
Yeah.
scene.
Yep.
that
is a
Fantastic
great
scene.
Yep.
Gosh. This is why
I
he's
gotta-
a better captain to me than Cisco, though. This is why I love Adama. Because, anyways.
I
we'll
don't know if I go there.
Shut your mouth. We're not going to have that conversation until you're done with the series. Stop it. Okay.
know.
Anyways, meanwhile, Baltar's spying on Gina. They're sleeping together all the time. Whatever. And in the meantime,
Love it.
they find, and then he decides to start spying on Gina, and she's been hanging out with the hybrid a lot, and Baltar talks with her, and she talks about some eye of the cow, a cow-eyed person, and they're like, oh, they must be talking about Hera, which is weird. And Hera's husband is the god Jupiter, and the two conclude the eye of Jupiter is a planet of a star cluster. So it's a clue to the location of Earth, basically. And Baltar thinks he could be the hand, so he thinks he could be one of the Cylons.
Of course he does.
Of course, right?
I'm special. I'm special.
And at the end of the episode, the scene changes. Adama promotes Kat to CAG, and they show them putting Kat's name at the top of the CAG. And then later, Starbuck puts Kat's picture on the wall commemorating the missing and deceased. The end.
Really easy to be nice to someone after they die.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, that was my thing, too. Like, what is it with Starbuck? Like, remember, what was it, last season where she's like, oh, I don't remember any of their names. Oh, they're all dead to me. They're all dead to me.
Yep.
And then at the end of the episode, she names off all their names, right? It's like, what is this facade of you being a hard ass?
She lives in denial.
She lives in denial. Plus, like, with Kat, anybody who she views as equal or better to her, she wants to meet up, put them
because she's
down.
an alpha female, right?
No, she's the alpha. They're not female no matter what.
Oh, yeah,
just alpha.
She's alpha.
Because it doesn't matter who it is.
Lee. It's this guy. It's it's everybody.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
She pushes, except for Adama.
Well, yeah.
She doesn't push back against
That's her
the old
space
man.
daddy, though.
That is her space daddy, which smart move using the dad against Lee in the last episode, by the way. Like when they were fighting and she's like, your dad's got moves. He can, too bad the son doesn't. You're the one who, like, slept with him and then ran away and got married. Like,
right. Obviously, he doesn't have moves.
Exactly.
What did Lee? Yeah, good point. Never mind. We already determined that's why.
We've decided that's what happened.
Okay. All right.
Change approved.
Is there something on the internet that Lee Adama is a terrible lover?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to find that out. Because he does not have a good history. The prostitute ran away from him.
But
She's like, get away.
He's sticking around.
Well, he got really attached.
Yeah, that's true.
He got really attached to the prostitute, didn't he?
Yeah.
Think of what type of person would get attached, like somebody who has no real skill in the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
That's a stereotypical type of person that's gonna like attach themselves to somebody like that.
Or it maybe, hear me out, like with strippers, they always or you go to one of those bikini bars that like their job is to make you feel like you're special, and you just bought into it.
Yeah, and he's not got no game, absolutely no game.
Got no game, no game at all. No game.
So Kat smuggled humans, huh?
Yeah.
What? Who cares?
Good.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay. Well, this goes back to the conversation.
Well, she smuggled Cylons too.
Well, they think she might have. They don't know.
They don't know, but the assumption is they take those leaps because you did this. You probably smuggled Cylons too. It's just the next evolution of trying to find fault.
Well, I don't think they're thought like when Starbuck threw that. She wasn't saying that she knowingly smuggled Cylons, but she's saying you did by the very act of what you did. You did.
Yeah, because they don't know how
But
Baltar
they don't
really let everybody in
know,
the front door.
And Starbuck's just trying to get under Kat's skin.
Do you think she had to get that close into her face though?
No, it was ridiculous.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. It was like, come on, man, like back up, back the frack up.
You know what I was thinking? Like, how often they had to brush their teeth for that scene?
Oh gosh, they had Listerine on set.
Oh my god!
How many times did they probably break character in that too? Like getting like close face talking.
I'd be like
the close talker.
I'd be like, bitch, your breath stank.
I want to try to do that with you guys for one of these Patreons one day. Is like try to have the close talk, like
the whole
serious
episode.
Conversation. No, a serious conversation in the whatever we're doing, the video or whatever it is, and just
what if we did an episode where the three of us are like in a triangle, just sitting as close as possible with one microphone. We all have to talk in the microphone.
Oh my god, that'd be so uncomfortable.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Okay, so you said you didn't like this episode. Is it the?
It's Starbuck heavy.
It's Starbuck heavy.
It's more Starbuck being Starbuck. It's
okay.
It's more.
I was going to ask, was it the execution or the idea behind the episode that you really didn't like?
I get the idea to a certain extent. Maybe it's just the execution. I don't. The problem is, I watch it and I don't remember it all that well. That's an issue.
It wasn't a very memorable episode.
Not at all. I appreciate them killing a B character.
Yeah, Kat.
I just don't necessarily care the way they brought it all to be.
Yeah, I thought the idea was good. The execution was poor. And this, like the idea where the sacrifices of these pilots to get them to safety and how heavily it weighs on the pilots when they lose one. I loved that idea. I loved all of that. I loved how they would lie to get back out there.
And that probably would have happened.
Yeah.
I would assume.
We see it in sports all the time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, coach. I'm good. I can go back in
as
there.
they're stuttering because they had 9 concussions.
It's just a stinger, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure,
your leg, the rest of your leg's over on the 40-yard line.
I'm sure you guys have played sports and done the same thing. I was unconscious on a football field, got up and like, where am I?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good. Let's play.
I'm good.
Nick, he rolled his ankle and then was immediately trying to walk again.
It was traumatic. It was traumatic. I had to hold it together, and we had to record after that, actually. Yeah. We recorded a whole episode, and I had the cold sweats, but I held it together for my boys.
Yeah, he's a team player.
I'm a team player.
So we all do that in some variation.
In the episode,
that's like your Jordan flu game.
It is. It is. They're selling my underwear on the internet from that.
But there's a lot of pride in sports.
Are you making a lot of money on that? I'm asking for a friend.
I mean, you did give me a lot for the last pair, so
yeah,
I've made at least $10.
$10 make you holla.
Yeah.
I mean, well, have you ever? The price of underwear, I got to charge more. Underwear is expensive, so you got the inherent price of the underwear.
Are you selling those on JonlyFans?
Yeah, but they're used.
I mean, really, anything's for sale.
Okay.
I would think at that point they're used. I've already gotten my life out of them. They're just going to go to the garbage. But if you want that stank, you can have it. So I'm going to give you that stank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you wash them first, or is it ball sweat included?
No, don't wash them.
No, that's part of the appeal. And I put it in a little Ziploc baggie to lock in the smell.
You think they have Ziploc has a commercial for like
sex
worker commercial, like lock in freshness or lock in stankness?
Are you selling your drawers on Reddit?
Oh my gosh!
Go ahead.
Use Ziploc
because a whole market.
It locks in that stank.
Hefty, hefty, hefty. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. That's okay.
Lord,
sorry.
We hated this episode based on our conversations.
I didn't hate it.
This episode sucked, except for the. So the premise. I don't know. They're starving, really. They had food 3 episodes ago.
Well, I can make that leap. I can make that leap pretty easily.
They were basically snorting saltines.
Yeah, but we're not.
3 episodes ago, they're feasting.
True.
But keep in mind, we're now.
They lost some. At the beginning, they said they lost some plies because of an explosion or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
they were ruined. They were spoiled.
Yeah,
I know, but
I'm gonna blame that on Starbucks too. Something she did,
probably.
Or Baltar.
Sometimes I don't like that though. When they have to make a giant leap from one point to another to advance the story a long way, and they explain it within dialogue, like dialogue in the show. It's like to explain that giant leap.
And this has been a show up to this point where it has shown us everything, right?
Well,
They've shown us
most
get
things.
to that point.
They did the year leap.
They did the year leap, but that was like a writing decision. But you're right; they haven't. If they would have just laid the groundwork, like we're starting to run low on supplies, we're just drop in casual mentions. Mm-hmm. This was a lot of times I had the problems with Deep Space Nine episodes, right? Just drop small references to something, and then the next episode it's a thing, or bring it up again. Bring up O'Brien's prison time. Bring up, stuff like that.
So writing these things. I mean, we talked to Ron Moore. I mean, you don't always know what's happening because you have different writers. Things change. Mm-hmm. Writer strike. All this happens, and so it's hard to drop things in one episode to carry another episode. Yeah. That being said, I didn't really care for this episode. Yeah. I just think that
I love the last scene.
I can get away with them mentioning that they had something spoiled or something along those. I can get that, but
yeah,
I think ultimately it was the execution of the long-term vision of the episode.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
It's like I thought there was some potential to tell more stories with the cat.
Well, and that's the thing. This goes with the execution. The backstory of Kat, hearing that she used to be a human smuggler and now she's seeking redemption. Wow! Why
opening that door? You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go more into that.
Yeah.
They should have killed Starbuck. Instead. That's what I said.
Yeah, but like if they would have started this with Kat, maybe last season, dropped some nuggets in here and there,
or started her
and then also Kat's personality makes more sense with her bravado against Starbuck. She's puffing her chest so no one pays attention. Like she's almost like, if I exude this much confidence, no one's ever going to think I was anything else other than a.
Or they might catch on to me more so than that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this false confidence kind of a thing. That would have been really cool. But to drop this nugget and then kill her off in the same episode is kind of like a bummer.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kat was kind of a good... I like Kat as a character because...
You mean Sasha?
Yeah, Sasha. I liked her as a character because she shows... Starbuck hates her because she's Starbuck. Kat is Starbuck. They're the same personality, but Kat's a more well-balanced version of Starbuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's the one who thinks more logically, cares about the people around her. Starbuck pushes everyone away, does dumb emotional decisions which result in people getting hurt. So
she has the bravado, but she also has a bit more
empathy,
humanity to her.
Yeah, exactly. So she's the version that Starbuck wants to be. So it was kind of cool seeing these two juxtaposed against one another and seeing what Starbuck could be and what she isn't and why she was pushing so hard against Kat. And then you kill Kat.
But Kat has 7 lives, so we're good.
Oh, maybe she's going to come back as a Cylon. We don't know.
Is she? Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Kat's a
We didn't even
Cylon.
talk about Baltar.
Do we have to?
There's not really much to it, right?
I got news for you. That's boring me right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty boring.
That storyline is not great.
Other than the threesome scenes, boring.
I think this is the
It's
slog
not even
part.
scenes. It's him waking up.
I know. Hold on.
Every time
Yeah.
from the threesome. And
They,
they're
they
always
take a lot of naps.
Yeah, they do.
Can I ask a relatively serious question?
Yeah.
Or at least it's not as jokey as it sounds. Why is every time there's some sort of like cult or there's some sort of like religious scene, why is everybody always wearing white? It's always white. Everybody's shirt is white. Everybody's gown is white. It's dim. It's like softer lighting. What is it?
Well, I'm not going to say white is right because that would be inappropriate.
That's correct.
Yes. You're right. They do use that a lot. I mean, even in religious terminology, we use a lot about like the light, the
because it's supposed
purity
to
of
be
light.
purity, and it automatically triggers something in your subconscious to help you identify with that. That's
It
why.
does. It is a very easy trope to do on
the problem
screen.
is it's easy.
It is very easy.
Isn't white... Black is the absence of color.
Yes.
White is all colors in one, right? It's
Right.
So I think there's something to that too. White is...
Isn't it
Or is it the other way around?
I don't know.
I think it's the opposite.
Google that shit.
It's white.
I think white is the absence of all color.
But to your
and
point, Joe,
black is
that's
the presence of
that's
all
the
color.
easy way to do it.
Yeah.
It's the easy way to film it.
You're like, okay.
Technically, pure white is the absence of color.
Right. I was right.
Yeah.
I was
And
white.
black
yeah.
is... And it's right. No, don't say that. Bad.
I was correct in my assessment of the two.
Bad.
But it's just, I was like, oh, it's just kind of cheesy. And sometimes it can be cheesy.
Yes. A lot of times it can be.
Yeah.
You know, from a story standpoint, I appreciate when they take, the harder way.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it didn't bug me with these necessarily, but to your point, yeah, I could see where
It didn't bug me. I just noticed it, and I'm like, oh, it's always something.
You know what I think I need is them to move back to the conflict between the Cylons and the humans. I don't want them to.
Yes.
I need there to be a sense of urgency again.
You know
Right now, there's no sense of urgency.
Because
You know
there's
what I
really
need?
the two big storylines.
I need Baltar on a ship, and I need Starbuck on a ship, and I need them run right at each other and then explode. And they're both dead. That's what I need.
Yes.
Finn.
Or we got Starbuck on a ship, and we got Baltar on a ship, and Garrick blows him up with a planet bomb.
Nice.
It's a fake.
It's a fake. That would be great.
What a twist.
Yes. That would be good. I would like it. But yes, I'm ready for stuff to move on. I know there was a slog in the middle of season 3, and I think this is it.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Well, because there's the two main storylines aren't. It's almost like the Cylons are inconsequential at this point.
Right.
It's like everybody that's on Galactica is right now. It's just they're just jumping to survive. They're trying to survive, right?
Right.
And the stuff with Baltar is he thinks he's some sort of deity.
Yeah, he's starting. He thinks he's a god now.
I do appreciate the plot point of they're in the nebula or whatever it was, and you have to jump them through point to point.
Yeah.
I do appreciate. I think that's a pretty clever story narrative.
Yeah, that's the one thing I really, again, one of the things I've always loved about the series is when they lean more into the hard science fiction elements. Like, the one thing I'll say about Star Wars is too science fantasy, right? Star Trek tries to do a lot of the more sciencey stuff, but a lot of it's lost behind technobabble. There's not really any techno.
Not anymore so much.
But in the past it has. there's no technobabble in this. A lot of the things that are happening, you can kind of make sense of them. Like they would need to plot courses through that and have guidance. So I've really appreciated that. The food becoming spoiled because of something happened and it ruined everything. I like that. I like those kind of
They
storylines.
kept it after the expiration.
Or the one time where they had the mine for the mineral for them to jump, like that kind of stuff. I dig when they do stuff like that. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Enough of Starbuck. Enough.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, and I just remembered.
Hmm.
A Stitch in Time, narrated by Andrew Robinson, comes out August 1st.
Oh, on Audible.
Or on audiobook.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just remembered that, so that's why one of the reasons I found a way to mention Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be buying that.
Yeah. I'd rather pay whatever $15, $20 for the audiobook than $100 for the physical book.
Or for watching Battlestar Galactica, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have to figure that out.
We are.
We'll talk
What?
Battlestar Galactica.
how to watch it. Because it's not going to be streaming anymore. I mean, I have it on Blu-ray, but it's not like we can, like, what are we just going to get? We already don't have enough time to barely watch them. It's not like we can all watch them together at the same time.
FaceTime.
Here, guys, watch the episode. Okay. All right, let's get to ratings, gentlemen.
Can we do a Zoom meeting and you can share your screen?
True.
I don't
Although
have,
you don't
I
have
don't
a
have
Blu-ray
a Blu-ray disc player in my computer.
Do you have an HDMI cord or a port?
I do. Oh, yeah, we could do it.
So you can output HDMI
Not
from
gonna, that would be such a pain in the butt. We'll figure it out.
Then you screen record it so we can watch it when we get a chance.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if I was going to look at my disc when I get home because sometimes they would have the digital codes in there, and if they have the digital
It'd be
code,
expired.
Oh, yeah.
It would be way
It's
expired.
from like
yeah,
2003.
because I was going to say I could just upload those to Vudu.
Yeah, way expired.
Okay.
Very few of them were unlimited.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Godsmack. All right, unfinished.
Yeah, buddy.
Unfinished business.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
I will go first. I'll give this episode a 4.
3. That's a
2.
hard 3.
2. Okay. Wow. Okay. Passage.
This one I was going to go with 3.5.
3.5.
4, 5.
I'm a 5 on this one. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good.
It's actual story, and the last scene with Adama is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
We didn't even
great
talk
scene.
about that. So I don't want to get into the Cisco versus Adama debate. I do want to have that after we finish this series. But like this tells you what a good commanding officer he is. He recognizes his decision will result in lost lives. And while the last episode he says, "I've let you all get too close to me," and moments like that, he knows it's okay to get close to these people. He'll go there and
Because he
be
doesn't
with
deal
them.
with it. She'll be dead.
You know,
Yeah.
Well, she's dying, but also like this shows something to your crew. He's making decisions for you, but he's not viewing you as a number. He sees you as a person, and he's going to be there for you. But he's going to make some decisions that might result in you dying too.
Initially, even in that split second when he says, I'm gonna promote you to CAG," and
Yeah.
she goes, "You know I'm not getting out of here, right?" In that split second, I was like, "That's stupid. She's gonna die." before I realized it was like a ceremonial move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, That's not good. That's not a smart move, my buddy.
You're just going to replace her again.
Right.
She's not. She doesn't have
Then
any hair, man.
I was like, oh, I see what he's doing.
I did like his one line too, where she's like, "I got something to tell you about your past."
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I actually love that line.
And
Yes.
does that change anything about how you've treated these people? I can't remember what exactly
Yeah.
that line
Yeah.
was. Oh my gosh.
He said like you've treated.
Hopefully, we didn't say too much offensive things today.
Just Nick.
Really, it was me today.
Yeah.
I am the guilty party, and I know it.
Well, obviously, you're a bad influence on those around you.
That's true.
Obviously, I'm a bad man. Mm-hmm.
You're the bad guy.
I'm a bad guy.
Duh.
So you can find us on Patreon. We go over non-sci-fi things usually, and you can get a little unique on there and some great videos. You can find us on Instagram, keeping_up_Cardassians. Yeah.
I don't know why I played that one.
There's a
At
lot of
Cardassians Pod.
there's a lot of that on Instagram too, y'all.
There is.
734-494-0980. So you can call or text us, leave a voicemail, leave a text. Well, chances are we'll read it on air.
That's the truth.
Facebook, it's there. YouTube. You can see Nick's pretty face. Dude, you were looking away from the camera when you did that.
No, I was intentionally going to pose to the camera.
Oh.
Thanks for listening. Try to hit that like, subscribe,
Smash it.
comment. I'm not saying that.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
I'm told it helps. I don't know how, but I guess it does.
You gotta always say the word smash, or they'll.
I'm not
or
saying
else
it.
the
They won't know what
Not
you're
doing
talking
it.
about.
Yeah.
They won't know what you're talking about. Bye, everyone. This is Nick,
Not gonna do it.
Joe, and Rob.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be
Not.
prudent.
Not
Not
gonna
gonna
do it.
do it.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Not.
Wouldn't be prudent. All right, bye, all.